Stand by for the Comic Industry Insider's live pre-show. Stand by graphics. Cue graphics. Roll intro. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start pre-show. Cue logo intro. We're live, people.
We're live, people. That's right. We are live. It is Tuesday. It is 2 weeks until San Diego. We are live. Once again, we're here with you. We're going to be talking about comics. It's Comic Industry Insiders Live. This is a weekly conversation where we kind of pull in the smartest people we know that will answer the phone. And we talk about comics. We talk about that big headlines. We talk about the sales. This week, we're going to be talking about the Pullbox Power Rankings. It's going to be a good time. But this section of the show is special because it's completely unscripted. Not that we do a good job of scripting the rest of it, but at least it's got a structure. This part right here, unstructured. This is just our opportunity to kind of bring everyone in and say hi. So we got a couple people that we're going to be saying hi to. And Brian, that ping sound is actually Brian letting our friends know that we have lots of videos that you should be watching. If you are our friends and you're in the chat, please let us know. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know who you think is the most underrated creator so far of 2026. I'm going to bring in some people I know who have answers to this. So let's start with Joe Keating. Joe, how you doing, my friend?
Doing great. Working on Comics the Magazine.
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very
and
good
San Diego
time.
Comic-Con and The Future
boy.
Is all simultaneously.
Check it out. We got The Future Is new issue.
Oh yeah,
with Gary Brown. Yeah,
very good.
Up,
Oh, you said that too quietly. Drawn by Gary Brown.
Gary Brown
Wolverine
drew this issue, written by Fred Van Lente. Letters by Taylor Esposito, who, by the way, really riled everybody up on the internet this week and allowed me to use, in my post about it, allowed me to use the what is it? The Keating maxim that
yes,
yeah.
Keating's law.
Keating's law. Yes,
Yeah.
That's right. I'll show you what Keating's law. The amount of time spent complaining about how the industry should be is inverse to the number of pages that person has created.
To be clear, Keating's law is just complaining on the internet. It can be about anything, really. It doesn't have to be about the industry. If the people complain on the internet all the time,
that's true.
If you're directly inverse to the number of quality pages you're producing, that's just an observation.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. If you have time, and I think this actually does. It's not just creating books. I think we found as retailers, the ones that spend the most time complaining online are usually the ones that you go into the shop and you go,
He told me this episode was hot takes only. I didn't realize that was the pre-show banter.
All right, quick. I'm gonna ask everybody in the pre-show. Who do you think is the most underrated creator of 2026 so far?
My answer perennially is Rich Tommaso.
Rich
that's
Tommaso.
His Black Phoenix book is one of the best comics being produced. People do not talk about it enough. So
I heard, man, it's too bad you don't have a platform to discuss it.
I know.
We should. I don't remember seeing that in the pages of Comics the Magazine, but whatever.
I'm planning on it.
Okay. All right. I know somebody who's going to have an immediate answer for this. Megan, who is the most underrated creator working in comics today?
Oh, Sweet Biscuits.
I've never read hers.
I've got a whole. No, there.
It's probably good. It's like a
sounds
zine
like
or something that you're
one that
working
would get
on?
in trouble.
No. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, just Sweet Biscuit sounds like a Kickstarter one that would get in trouble with Stripe. I don't know. The book that I think is critically acclaimed, but not enough people are getting to it because my brain is going to the distribution system, is still Drone at this point.
Drone.
The Jesse Longerman one. Because it is from a big five prose publisher, it's if the retailers don't have an account with Macmillan, it's harder for them to get it because there's no central distributor putting out stuff from the big five distributors. And it's a gorgeous book. It just got nominated for a Harvey Award. Comic Book Couple Counseling did a great episode with him, and then we did a comic book club about it. Please go ask your library for it. It's lovely.
You know what? I work with you two every single day, and these are two titles I had not really heard until today. I don't know if I'm a little, maybe a little disappointed in both of you. I'm not sure.
Maybe we're disappointed in you, Adam. You should ask them.
Actually, I believe that. Because I do not have an answer to the question I'm asking everybody. Let's bring, I didn't even know he was in the chat. Let's bring in our buddy Gabe. Gabe, who is the most underrated creator of 2026? You?
Scott Snyder.
Oh, shush. There is no underrating Scott Snyder.
I have an argument for this. I do.
Let's hear it. All right.
Look, like, you look at what he's done, right? Like,
yeah.
American Vampire and Court of Owls and Department of Truth, and now Absolute Batman. And this man has reshaped the most well-known, or one of the three most well-known superheroes for an entire generation, right? Like, he's completely reshaped it, made it his own. And yet, when fans have conversations about who's the biggest creator in comics, they drift towards legacy names, right? Like Morrison and Alan Moore and Frank Miller and Jonathan Hickman and Jeff Johns. They're not saying Scott Snyder. They should be. Like, this guy, this is the guy at this point. And by the definition of underrated, I think he still flies under people's radar. And the shift that's taking place within comics right now is almost entirely because of the way that he has shaped this absolute universe in the last year and a half. So I think it's Scott. I think he's the most underrated.
I really want to disagree with you, but instead of doing that, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring Sean to the stage and let him disagree with you. Sean,
I love it. Yes, please.
Sean, who is the most underrated? Wait a minute. Is this an actual background behind you?
It is an actual background behind me because I am on vacation. I will not miss this show. I needed to be here.
Let's go.
I'm also not going to disagree with Gabe. Gabe is 100% right, but so is Megan. My answer is also 100% right. My answer is the creator of Kaya, Wes Craig. I will talk about Kaya until I'm blue in the face. Blue is my shirt, baby. That book is a book that everyone should be reading. It's all ages, but it works on any level. If you're a kid, it's got tremendous, beautiful, gorgeous art that appeals to youngsters. But if you're an adult or middle age or younger age, you can appreciate the story and the coming of age element of it. It's a story about two siblings who are trying to make it work in a world that wants them torn apart. I think it's beautiful, and I think Wes Craig is doing career work.
Damn. All right. I'm ready. Sign me up. All right. Menachem, if you're watching this, put that in my subs. All right. Let's see. Brian, do you have an answer to the question? Who is the most underrated creator in comics right now?
I do, and I don't know if you guys have heard of this guy. He's a fairly young fella, pretty new. But have you heard of this guy, George Perez? Who's actually on the charts right now because JLA Avengers is like doing really well, the reprint, which has never been reprinted as comics before. So yeah, this thing, I just got it, and oh my, if you've never had the chance to see George Perez's art in like real life size, I have like a Sirens book from years ago when he did that CrossGen series, and it's one of my favorite things. And when this Titans thing was announced, I was like, yes, please. It's so cool. But
Awesome.
yeah, he's probably not legit. I would say maybe. I mean, Kelly Thompson is a known entity, but Kelly Thompson's also like surprisingly tearing up the sales charts lately. I'm gonna go with Kelly Thompson because people don't put her in the top echelon, but she's doing Absolute Wonder Woman, which is in many people's opinion the best Absolute series.
That is very true. That's very true.
And Scott Snyder's out there sucking up all the oxygen so Kelly Thompson doesn't get talked about.
Kelly's
All
also
right.
really private, which is nice that you are learning. You know them from their writing. You don't know any gossip about them, or
That's true.
if they had 1,000 people at a wedding over the weekend or anything like that. They're known for their work, which I really appreciate about them.
All right, I'm really curious to see if he's got an answer, so we're gonna bring him in really quickly, even though we're almost out of time. Trevor, no answer? I see him shaking his head.
Dude, my answer is your answer, which is like, we're so busy, who knows anything? I'm going to do something really cheap, and I'm just going to call out my boy Chris Yates, who is crushing it. He's on our team. He is a creator. He's got a Kickstarter that is going to print. I've been working on that, called Marcus Walker Kingslayer Protocol. It's a kind of a family-oriented kaiju mecha story with slick art by Simone Ragazzoni. I don't know how to say his last name. I apologize. We just refer to him as Simone. But Chris is not only doing that, not only doing all the work he does here at Prana, he and I both are partnered with Danny Trejo on a book that's going to get announced to San Diego. This guy is just kind of behind the scenes working his tail off. And I'm going to use my moment to call out my boy.
I love it. And he's a good call out. All right. I'm going to kick everybody off. We're going to bring nearly all of you back here. So we're going to say goodbye to Trevor. We're going to say goodbye, Megan. We're going to say bye, Joe. Brian, I'll be introducing you in just a minute. Let's see. Bye, Sean. And bye, Gabe. Joe, I already said goodbye to you.
Yeah.
Let's do it one more time.
I don't know what's going on.
All right. Let's like this. This is... As sure as the sun sets in the west, as sure as you wake up every day wishing you had a different government, it's Comic Industry Insiders Live every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We jump onto your screen, wherever your feed is. We're doing our best to bring you all of the most, I think the most important headlines in the comics industry. We're going to bring you the best perspectives in the comics industry. This week, we're going to be talking about what you love. We're going to be talking about comics. We're going to be talking about creators. We're going to be talking about who is up and who is down, and why some things are important and why you continue to show up for them. This week, I could not do this alone. There's too much to talk about. So as always, please welcome to the stage my favorite Canadian, Mr. Brian Garside.
Wow, that's high praise. There's a lot of good Canadians too. You could have picked Ryan Reynolds. You could have picked Seth Rogen, although he's in too much lately, overexposure. But yeah,
that's a good point.
I always say I'm everyone's 14th favorite Canadian.
Well, you went straight to number one for me, buddy. And you know why?
Oh, that's
subscription
so good.
numbers. Subscription numbers got you there. It was not sales. It was subscription numbers. That's really the only thing that matters, buddy. That's at the end of the day. How did you celebrate the anniversary of our country this last weekend? Did you have a good time? Did you eat barbecue? Did you set off illegal fireworks? Did you
well, you guys do everything like later than us, because like we have Thanksgiving in October and you have it in November, and then we have Canada Day like the 1st, and then you have your thing 4 days later. So Canada Day, we celebrate, how awesome being part of the Commonwealth is. And then we're just sad 3 days later, we're just sad, because you could be part of something so great, but it's okay. It's all right. You'll figure it out.
All right. Someday we'll figure it out.
In our group chat, when everybody was celebrating 4th of July, I just posted the King George song from Hamilton. You'll be back. Time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well.
Well, if you are in the chat, we want to hear about how you spent your Independence Day. I'll tell you, I did what we did. We always do is we go upstate. We have Gabby's aunt is a nun at a Buddhist temple, and so we spend 3 or 4 days just, they do a little family fun fair, and it's cute and it's fine, and there's just nothing exciting for like 4
That
days.
sounds
It's
really fun.
incredible.
Actually, like, oh my gosh. That's why you're so like energized this week.
It's true.
Because
I got enough
you,
sleep. That was
yeah,
this. I spent a weekend doing very little but sleeping. It was
that's amazing.
spectacular. The only downside is that the barbecue is vegetarian because they are
I don't think
Buddhists.
that's legally barbecue.
Yeah, it's really not. It's really, really not. No, especially for the
Let's,
Texan and me. What are we doing this week?
Oh, no, too many people.
I'm here. Oh, hey! Somebody's
All
doing
right, well,
presets.
so we're
Ryan's
trying these
with the
presets
preset.
things out, and I guess what we're learning is that we have to unpreset our presets when we preset. All right, this week we are talking hot takes, the Pullbox Power Rankings, and we're going to talk about all of the controversies because every time that one of these things releases, holy
Yes.
moly, people get so mad, they're so
Yeah.
upset, and yeah, we're going to lean into it. Lean into it. But
Let's
first,
lean all the way in.
we're going to talk some headlines.
Yes,
Are you ready
we are.
for
Good
headlines?
news this week. It's lots of fun news this week. I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to it. Yeah.
This is a good week. I don't know if I love this slide. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
Feels like
we
it
need
kind
to
of
do
buries the lead a little bit. But the Spirit of Comics Retailer Award, which I believe is presented at San Diego, is that right? In 2
It is
weeks?
at San Diego Comic-Con on Friday, I believe. Of that, well, the finalists used to be announced at that moment, but it's given away at the actual Eisners, which I think happens on Saturday. I want to say Saturday
wild.
evening. Yeah.
Were you going back behind you to find
I
your
was.
Eisner Award? Look at this humble brag.
Look at
Look at this
this.
humble
Look at
brag.
that. Look at that.
That's an Eisner.
I
Wow.
know.
That one's old
It's
enough. It
really
could have been actually signed by Will Eisner.
almost. He died the year before. Actually,
Oh, did he? Oh, that
2 years
sucks.
before. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and it's actually this the acrylic has gone really cloudy. It's really strange.
Yeah.
It keeps, I don't know how that happens.
You can buff that out. That could get buffed right out. Well, our nominees are Hello Comics, which used to be Telegraph Comics, which is in, where are they? Like North Carolina, I want to say.
Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Bat City Comics in Florida. That's
correct.
That's Matt and Shannon's shop. Books with Pictures Eugene in Eugene, Oregon. That's Andrea Gilroy's shop. It's the sister shop to Katie Pride's Books with Pictures in Portland.
Yeah.
Dreamers and Make Believers, our friends Fennec and Miranda in Baltimore. And then
Yeah.
Comic Quest, Dawn and Kelly in California.
Yeah.
Like, I want to say Los Angeles, but I think they're like way east of Los Angeles.
It's an interesting crew this year. I think it's I will say that we've got one, two, we'll definitely have 2 board members right now for the Comics Pro board that are on this list. Is that right?
You see 2?
Hello Comics.
No, just one. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bat City. Bat City, yeah.
We've got several returning. I know Dreamers and Make Believers was on there last year. I think Bat City was on
Comic
there.
Quest has been on for a couple of years. Yeah, Bat City was on last year. Yeah.
Don and Kelly, they keep coming up. It's really going to be interesting to see where the crew lands this year. I will say, who won last year? Does anybody? Oh, do you remember what because whoever that is the judge, is one of the judges for the next year. You never really know until we get down to the end of it.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Man, who was the winner last year? 2 years ago was. Oh, we should know this. We should really know this.
I swear I did.
I know. Let's see what the did it be? No.
While you're doing that, I'm going to vamp a little bit. I will say that
Please.
from a point of sale point of view, we have Hello Comics using Comic Hub. We've got Bat City and Dreamers and Make Believers are both using Comic Shop Assistant. Dreamers was a managed comic shop, but they switched over. Books with Pictures is a managed comic store, Eugene specifically. And Comic Quest is a Comtrack store who has talked with me about moving to managed comics, but Comtrack is its own special little breed of interesting. So
Comtrack. Don, you're still using Comtrack?
there's a few. Bosco's in Alaska is still using Comtrack. There's a bunch that are still using Comtrack. Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow. Let's see.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
2025. Let's see. Who was the winner last year? I was having a hard time figuring it out. Akira was 2 years ago. Was Akira last year? Akira was last year.
yeah.
That's right.
Kira
We
was last
interviewed
year.
them.
They're from
That's
like
right. Spain.
Europe, right? Spain. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Incredible store. We did an interview with them on the long form podcast, and what an incredible. Somebody's in the. All right, we had three different people. If we had just looked at that, if I'd been looking at the screen, anyway.
Yeah, I know. I saw all these. Akira. We were just
Akira,
like,
we
oh,
get
we'll
it.
just,
We get
we'll
it.
just,
It's an incredible
we'll just
score.
Google.
He's got like so that's just the interesting part about this is that the finalists this year are very different than Akira. Akira almost looks like Disneyland, and there's got a little different regions, and it's a very European sort of store, but it's also like they put just a ton of money and effort into like making out something that just feels like an amusement park, but it's a retail store, and they also have like puppets and special aprons. And I would say that of the stores that are on this list, I mean, I would say that they are, none of them quite fit that same category, I don't think. So there's not like a 1-to-1 for any of these people. But I don't know. I'm really fascinated to see who wins. Somebody's going to be disappointed. That's going to be a weird board meeting right after.
Right.
Exactly.
Hey, it's a bunch of people that didn't. Oh no. It's okay. It's okay. Leadership shakeup at Dark Horse. Talk to me a little bit about what's going on at Dark Horse, because it feels to me like corporation's going to corporate.
And that's basically what we're seeing. We're seeing them announce some names that have been already in kind of the system. They are people who have kind of become the kind of standards of how the infrastructure of Dark Horse is working. Tim Weish was the head of publishing and business development, or is now rather. Vanessa Todd Holmes, head of publishing operations, and Melissa Tiemann, head of finance and administration. So we also have an interim CEO of Jay Comas. I don't think I've ever said his name out loud, but all of this comes after the company celebrated its 40th anniversary, after the staff unionized, after they got rid of Mike Richardson. It's been like, it'll be really interesting to see where this company ends up now that they are maybe a little more corporate, a little more buttoned up. Are they going to work better inside of their sort of venture capitalist group that they all live inside of now? I don't know. I'm really fascinated to see do they lose the soul of Dark Horse? Dark Horse was the platform for many of the books that we think of as indie darlings, during the 90s and the aughts. And so where does that soul come from? Do they just become another house that does a lot of licensed work? Are they going to start, do they have a path for creator owned books? My understanding is one of the biggest, somebody was telling me that one of the biggest surprises they got was that when the Embracer Group bought Dark Horse on day one, they're like, okay, so we own Hellboy. And somebody said, nope. So I don't know.
Who's got a hot take on this?
Who's that?
Your friend of mine, Joseph Keating.
Oh, hey. There he is.
Former Portlander. Where's his heart and soul going to come from?
Yeah.
A couple names on that list. I don't know all the names on the list, but from my time in Portland, don't underestimate Tim Weish. I haven't pronouncing that name right. Sorry, Tim. But that guy's been there for a long time. He was at Alamo Draft House for a minute. Dude knows comics. And to have him on the top, to me, feels like a big deal. Now, I don't know Bracer well enough. If they rein him in too much or whatever, okay. But there's a huge lead that this article is buried, which is Daniel Chabon has been promoted to executive editor. Daniel's one of the best editors in the business. And I'm telling you, I haven't worked directly with Daniel, but I've known him for a little bit. I've seen him work with other people. I've seen how he's treated artists that I've worked with, which is highly positively and like really helped boost books. He's going to be a danger to other editors in the industry. Like competition could be fierce if they really let him go. If they don't, okay, that's a mistake. But they've got the right people in the right places. I was pretty bummed out about the news recently with Dark Horse, but when I saw this, I was like, all right, I think they're making some good calls. So
I love it.
We'll see.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. I think more healthy. I mean, you and I, we all talk to creators that want to sell books. They want to place books. They have projects they've even built that they're just looking for a publisher for. Do they self-publish? Do they go to another publisher? Most of them want to go to another publisher, but who do they even go to anymore?
Yeah.
You know, and I would love to see, you know, in that group of, let's call it number 3 to number 7, you know, there's that tight little group of publishers. I'd love to see them all get much, much stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Horse has been the vanguard of that crew for so long, you know.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope you're right.
Anyway,
let's go.
Before we leave, Joe, I think you're going to have a take on this next one as well. Skybound begins another equity crowdfunding raise. So Skybound reported losses of, where was that?
Got that story.
So they're seeking a new raise of $5 million. And they provided financials for 2025 and 2024, which showed operating losses of 7.9 million and 28.7 million, respectively, for the 2 years, and net losses of 20.2 million and 27.6 million after non-operating elements were included. Now, some of that is going to be Hollywood numbers, which is just magic, but some of that's actual real numbers. And Joe, I think you've got some thoughts here.
Yeah, well, I think the really interesting numbers, even beyond the losses, are where the income came from. I don't know if you have those right in front of you.
Yeah, I do.
Share those.
Yeah, revenue from comics was a small minority. It represented 6.1 million in revenue from Image Comics.
Right.
Part of a total.
Pause right there. So that means direct market sales, essentially, because all the Skybound stuff gets solicited through Image and then it goes out. And okay, so. Proceed.
That was part of a total of 14.2 million in revenues in editorial, which presumably includes crowdfunding and other direct consumer sales. So crowdfunding and stuff like that is part of that. So there's an additional like $7-8 million that comes from all these other things, foreign rights, possibly other elements. And then the largest source of revenue is 47.4 million from linear content, which would include the Invincible television series. Right. Second was interactive sales of 36 million. I'm not sure what interactive would be, but it could be games and stuff like that.
I would assume games,
then, mobile apps, which, as far as I know, means the Skybound, the Invincible like iPhone game, is 11.6 million, and merch was another 2.7 million.
Yeah, well, they just released their, I don't know if this was included in that time frame, but that Invincible versus platform,
I think that's pretty new. That
fighting games. I think that might be included in the interactive. But look, man, don't underestimate the power of Invincible Prime. I mean, I wrote a book, like a spin-off book of Invincible called Tech Jacket. My royalties for that have been pretty great. So, you know, I get it. I can only imagine what they're doing when they actually sell Invincible games.
There's still a bunch of Walking Dead stuff. Like there's Walking Dead games, there's a Telltale game, there's some Walking Dead mobile games and stuff like that. So yeah, I think there's a bunch of stuff out there that also kind of is ancillary stuff. So yeah. Still impressive. And this doesn't count all the new stuff. You know, we're going to be seeing whatever comes of all the licensed stuff, you know, the Transformers, Energon Universe stuff. But then there's Battle Beast sale, there's Cage, there's Terminal coming out.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be huge. I think that book's going to be really big.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But it does, I think, underscore. I mean, again, more so the losses feel like a corporate ease thing. I don't really feel like I'm the guy to talk about. But in
Yeah,
terms
for
of
sure.
the changing dynamics of publishing and where your revenue streams are coming from publishing is very interesting. And I'm curious what this will look like for, I mean, look at Vault and Dungeon Crawler Carl, which spoilers, we're talking to them for CTM, like doing that crowdfunder raised way more money than they ever would have gotten in the direct market initially.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's going to be interesting to see other publishers follow suit.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's really interesting to see what these companies, I mean, they all, Skybound, for all that they do in all of these other realms, as much revenue as they're getting from all these other realms, all of it begins in the direct market. All of it
That's
begins in comics, right? Everything they're doing, nothing they're doing is being created out of the whole cloth. It's all a building on what they do inside of the comics, which I think is part of why comics does so well. Is that yes, it's only $6 million for this company, but all the rest of it, the 37, the 67, 108, what, $111.8 million in crowdfunding numbers. That's, I mean, that was their equity raise. Like all of that comes out of that 6 million, right? All of it begins with, we can take an idea and we can put it on a page for a relatively small amount of money that even those games, even those like mobile games cannot, compare in the ability to create story and IP that way.
Well, I'll make it even simpler for you. Like there's these new publishers come in who see the tail end of all this and are like, oh, I want to do my big transmedia thing. And they forget the centerpiece of it.
Yeah.
Good comics. If the comics are awful, your other stuff is going to be bad and no one's going to care.
Exactly.
We'll make good comics first and then we'll go from there. And Skybound's really excelling at good comics. So.
And they're taking that money that they're making elsewhere and they're like bringing in like that Terminal crew on the covers, on the interior. It's just fucking monster crew that they've got.
That is an all-star game of crew. Like Art Adams, David, like seriously, that is the biggest crew. It's going to be, it's going to be
great.
You don't justify that with just direct market sales is my point, right? Is that people investing in IP, they're investing in companies. So I don't know. I'm really, really impressed to see where this goes. It is the crowdfund is so interesting and weird, and I don't know how I feel about it as far as the equity raise, but I suppose it's better than going out and asking VCs for more money, so
I think you're going to see more of this kind of thing. Like I've seen it in a few different industries where you have these smaller crowdfunding things, and there's also a lot of open source projects that are doing similar things to this, where it's you kind of buy into the board. I think this is really interesting, and it kind of puts the power back into people's hands instead of the shadowy corporations. I like it. I like it. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, thank you, Joe.
We'll talk to you later
for more.
It's a very Joe heavy episode. All right. One more story. Supergirl raises the bar for Hollywood supporting comics. Supergirl. Oh my God. So every single story I'm reading is like Supergirl, biggest bomb. But it also made like $100 and something million, made back its budget like within the first 48 hours. I know there's Hollywood accounting, and it probably cost $370 million to make a $100 million movie. But the big story is like it didn't do as bad as everyone says it did.
True.
There's this weird like campaign against it because either people don't like Millie Alcock, or they think James Gunn had too much influence, or they didn't like the cover of the girl that did the cover of The Middle got so much hatred. And it's like, what? Like, it wasn't her decision to put it in the movie. Like, why are you people such trolls? But the good side of this is the massive support that DC gave for comics, and like how this is translated to sales in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, ancillary Supergirl stuff. It's been really, really cool.
I will say all of this comes out of Comics Beat opinion piece that was written by Greg Katzman, who's the head of PR for IDW, right?
Okay.
He did this amazing piece on the beat. We should put the link, if I remember to. I'll put the link in the show. I mean, in the chat here. But he wrote this piece, and he mentions that at the press and early screenings, a QR code was on display offering free Supergirl comics. At select showings of the movie, fans were handed reprints of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow #1. The actual physical books were handed to those fans. As Greg points out, it's the studio saying, here, give this a shot. You are going to like this movie. It's going to be fun. You're going to enjoy it. Here's the thing, how you can go and have some more of this fun. There was a version inside of the Supergirl Steel book, which is these really high-end efforts that have a lot of different pieces that have the DVD and whatnot. Actually had a Woman of Tomorrow issue in there. Like, they've done amazing work in trying to get these people who are coming in for the movie to come in for comics, or they could also read Comics the Magazine #5 on shelves now that has a feature on Supergirl and the artist who really, Sophie Campbell, who really just took it off. But anyway, all of this to say, we are in really a wonderful time where the Hollywood studios that are basing their work on the comics actually know that they have to not just appeal to comics. You know what? Thanks, Megan. I said 5. It's 4 right here. I've got it. I'm holding it. Anyway, these Hollywood studios realize they have to like promote the comics as well. And I think that's a big step up from where we were. So
I agree. Yeah. And I think DC has done like amazing work with this. Like they've done a really good job of having read the comic afterwards, after a lot of the trailers and stuff. Yeah, it's been really good. And I mean, it bears up by the numbers that we're seeing in stores. So
that's true. Yeah.
Finally, Comics Pro is going to host a retailer day at San Diego Comic Con. I believe it's the Friday, and they've announced their programming for it. It looks really, really jam packed.
It's gonna be a busy
as jam packed as something could be.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah. It's a long list of things. It's going to be a long day for those of us who are going to be in those rooms. Our good friends at Comics Pro have decided to just kind of blow it out. They're working with Lunar. They're working with Universal to make sure everybody has a chance at programming. I know Comics the Magazine is going to be there. We're also going to be there for Rekka, who's a big client of ours. A lot of our other clients are going to be presenting. It's just going to be it's just a full day. If you're a comics retailer or you're a publisher who's working with them, just block out Friday, man, because you're going to be eating a box lunch. I can tell you that.
I can't remember where oh, there it is. There's the schedule. So it starts at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, goes all the way to 5.
Yep.
There is the Spirit of Retailers Video Awards panel, Lunar Distribution Publishers, which is like 15 publishers that they got to get through in an hour and 20 minutes. A break, Universal Distribution's talking for an hour. Penguin Random House has all their publishers. Another break, and then other publishers and vendors. And then a creating opportunities in a multi-distributor landscape panel, which will be interesting.
It will be interesting. I think we have 3 panels that evening, something like that. Prana does. We're going to be talking about all of our plans for San Diego next week. But it was good for them to finally announce a schedule this week. I'm glad we finally have something that we can kind of look for on that day, because there's just so much. There's going to be so much going on in San Diego that week.
Yeah, that is a jam-packed show.
Yeah. Get up early. Make sure you get a good night's sleep. Don't stay up drinking the night before. Yeah.
Are we ready to talk bestseller list?
I am. Is Sean? Are you ready, Sean? The Prana bestseller list.
Up.
Let's talk about this. This is a project we've been working on for several years now. We gathered together the data from our friends at Managed Comics and Comic Shop Assistant. We put together a list, a cohort of over 600 stores. Over 80,000 consumers are represented in this data. We're able to. You could go to the next slide. It probably says what I just said. I know
Fine.
people are tired of hearing
Fine.
it now. Fine. Anyway, why is it important? Why is this different than other people's data? Why? Because there's so many stores involved. It doesn't matter. One store could have a really big week where they sell nothing but Kaya, and did I get that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would not affect the overall because there's just so many stores involved.
I'm going in blind this week. I have not even seen these numbers. Like normally I at least like refresh the slide, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what's going on.
Let's
Oh,
go. Oh,
oh,
Look at that,
boy.
right?
Boy, oh boy.
what
Yeah,
was,
DC Comics almost
yeah,
44% of the market DC Comics took. This is all for last week. Marvel at 33, called 34%. Image, ooh, this is the smallest they've had, the smallest week they've had in a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
usually 14 to 16%. Yeah, this is
Yeah. Even as
DC
high as
just ate up
18,
all the oxygen.
basically. Yeah. Dark Horse, Dynamite, IDW, all in the low 2%. Boom, Mad Cave in the 1% range. Prana Publishers and Oni Press tying for 9th and 10th. Thank you.
Look at you
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Hunter. You and me, buddy. It's we came out of Valiant and we made up at number 9 and number 10. What happened here, Sean? What's going on this week?
So I'm going to start from the place that we all kind of reacted most, which is Image Comics.
Yeah.
It takes until the 28th book for us to see an Image Comics title on this list. That is not a good thing. And I think it's even worse when you consider what the book is. It's the Transformers the movie 40th anniversary edition. Now, of course, there's nothing wrong with that. My point, though, is that that's not one of their core titles.
Yeah. It's a 3-issue miniseries even.
Yeah, Sean,
High level.
yeah.
Oh,
ahead.
did I lag?
You're a little bit alike.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
But you want those books performing at a high level, and the fact that they couldn't even get one of them in the top 25, not a great sign for Image.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a little tough. They've really been locked into, as we said, they've been locked into that like 14 to 18%. And to see them drip like this, it really makes me wonder, like, are we seeing, or just not seeing the books that we want from Image? Are they going elsewhere? I mean, is that why we're seeing a Dark Horse, Dynamite, IDW taking about the same market share? Is it that like they're chipping away? I don't know. I'm really curious to know what's happening here, because it can't just be that people aren't interested in, non-superhero books. Like that can't be the case, because those of us who love non-superhero books, we're still in the stores, right?
I don't think it's people not loving non-superhero books. I think it's something you were alluding to, which is the idea that there are just so many more places to get that kind of story now. In Image's heyday, it really was Image. And then, of course, you had Dark Horse, but they were on a smaller scale. The Image boom that brought us Saga and others, we're not in that space anymore. So it's really when Skybound is putting stuff out, that we're seeing more of Image getting that percentage. But when you don't have Battle Beast out, or you don't have Void Rivals or Core Transformers or GI Joe, this is what it's going to look like.
Or Ghost Machine. Ghost Machine's also pretty, they're pretty stellar with their numbers and consistent every month. So yeah, we didn't really have a Ghost Machine book. We had the guidebook, and it's not a super high subscribe thing. But yeah, it's interesting. Last week, you just look at the list of stuff from Image. You had Fireborn, Lost Fantasy, like a lot of good kind of C tier titles in terms of subscriptions, but like really, really good books. Royals, She Spawn, which is still a perennial, like really good seller for us. But yeah, there was no Void Rivals or Transformers or GI Joe or anything like that week for sure. Let's take a look at the actual top 10.
Oh yes. Yes.
So Batman
Batman
is a
number 11.
juggernaut.
Yeah.
Just absolutely, yeah. And the final issue of Absolute Martian Manhunter, interestingly, like final issues of stuff seem to sell significantly better than the previous issues. I always notice that they like it's the 12th issue of a 12 issue miniseries. Why am I selling more copies of that than 11? Amazing Spider-Man's always in the top 10, but look at that, like half of the Batman numbers, which
Yeah.
is just
Yeah.
stunning. I
And
think like
go ahead.
for me, the number one story here is Deadman number 2.
That's a great
What a
point.
great little story.
Yeah, no kidding. Outselling, Absolute Green Lantern, outselling Fantastic Four, Iron Man. These are perennials. And it's coming in and doing so strong at number 2. Also,
Deadman is
go please.
it's proving that you can, if you have fertile ground, you can launch any title. And if you've got a great creative team behind it with a good core concept, it can perform in this market. That is absolutely possible.
That's true. Also, I think it's I love the fact that Marvel Swimsuit Special, brand new beach day, number 1 is number 4 on our list. It feels like 1994 all over again. It's just that kind of thing doing well. But also points out that there was a time when Image was playing in that game, right? When during its heyday in the early parts, going back to the Image of it, it was able to see those trends and participate in those trends in a way that it doesn't now, because it's just a series of independent studios and independent creators all working alone as opposed to working together. I'm sorry. I don't know if Jeremy's being snarky or not, but he's saying that the story in the swimsuit special was the best. I'm sure it was.
That's why I bought it.
Yeah. You really got it for the stories.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we also had a month. We also ended out a month. So let's take a look at those month numbers. I love the fact that we can do this now. Let's look at June. Oh, no Prana. We don't make the month. We only put out one title. That's it. Yeah.
It's tough to compete with only one book.
DC though with a solid like 7% lead over Marvel, and there's Image back up through its 14.94. So that really does show you that Skybound, Ghost Machine kind of bump that you get. And then our friends at Dynamite, always in the top 3 or top 4, I should say.
Yeah. Image taking in number 15%. I mean, in the full month, looking at it, they can still perform. But just I want them to do better. I want them to be able to actually chip away as opposed to being stuck there. Oni taking a slight dip from the 0.9 of the week. Mad Cave taking a big dip when you look at their full. So they had a really strong week and not necessarily a strong month. But otherwise looking pretty standard. Let's take a look at the titles. Unless there's something there, Sean, you wanted to go to.
Oh, I think the devil is in the details for the month.
Yeah.
I definitely do.
Absolute
cow. That was a juggernaut. I think the numbers that were thrown out were 350,000 copies sold.
My understanding is that's what like the Batman numbers are these days. Like that seems to be the weekly cap out is the 300K right now. But yeah, I mean, look at that, like just edging out Absolute Batman 21. That in and of itself is kind of incredible. I'm going to call it right now. Having spent a little, Sean, you were in the room when they did the Absolute panel at Heroes Con. Yeah. I don't know if you saw what I saw, but Che Grayson is going to be a superstar.
Yes,
there's no doubt in my mind. If they want it, are going to be the next Scott Snyder. There was just, you talk about that. That was just an incredible moment, right?
First of all, for someone who's been in the industry for a relatively short amount of time, Che's poise speaking in front of the audience, their understanding of comics and the way they were speaking so passionately about this industry, you couldn't help but be touched by her enthusiasm for this. And then, when they were talking about their mother, and everything else, I got emotional. I don't know if there was a dry eye in the room. It was a rousing speech. It was an impassioned speech, and that's the kind of person we need more of in this industry.
Yes, absolutely. And and the fact that this person, this woman of color, is coming in and taking something like Absolute Catwoman, which could have just been another one of these releases inside of the Absolute, would have done well just by putting the word Absolute on it. But taking that number one spot and doing so incredibly well, first time out of the gate, I see nothing but wins here. This is going to be a huge. This name is not going away. And if they want to be working in comics, they're going to be running comics by, I don't know, by the 30s. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. And it's, if you've read the book, it is dense. Like there's so many words and so many panels on every, it's a really good book, but yeah, it's very, like, that is a written book. That is a very, very written book, and really well written too.
What more could you want if you're DC Comics than to spin off your top selling title and have that book beat out the top selling title?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a really great point.
But speaking of the top,
big deal that they're doing a spin-off of Absolute Catwoman for Absolute Cassandra Cain with Che Grayson as the writer, because this is only a 6-issue miniseries, right? So yeah, this is super interesting.
Also, speaking of their Absolute Batman, the fact that they took 2 spots in the top 10 for that one series that comes out monthly, that means number 20 sold enough in the second month of a release in order to make the top 10. What a juggernaut this book is.
That's the perennial story too. That book just sells constantly. Like we go through consistently 5 to 10 copies of early issues every week. Just go.
You know what I'm seeing? Maybe I could be wrong here, but what I'm seeing and these are actual sales, right? The numbers we're looking at are actual point of sale transactions. But what I'm looking at when I look at this, I think I don't know why I just caught it, is Batman really does hit around 300,000 units per month, is my understanding. That means that Absolute Catwoman, clocked in at 500,000 copies, maybe?
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah.
Jeez, what a weird time we're in. Mask number 1. Who knew that was going to be yeah, I swear to God, I don't know if I was just generational. I just missed it. I had no idea. I still don't really know what Mask was.
I know. Django talks about it all the time, and he's not much younger than us. But there was there's a 5-year gap there that I swear it could be 100 years. I have no real recollection of Mask other than cartoon commercials. That's it, really. But yeah, and Blind Bag. I think that's the big story with this, right? There was a secret ROM variant in there. There was a Origins issue. There was a second issue. Like Image's Blind Bag, specifically Skybound's Blind Bag program is really, really cool. It's so different and surprising than other people's, and I think they do a really, really good job with it.
It'd be interesting
for Terminal.
We should at some point. We have the numbers. We could break out how much of Image's total sales are really just Skybound at this point. Right?
Yeah,
how many of those percentage points, if you took out Skybound, where does Image land on that list? Interesting. It'd be an interesting conversation to have anyway.
That Avengers Armageddon number is really interesting too, because a lot of that is on the Magic the Gathering card, which I personally witnessed people walk into comic stores and say, "Do you have Avengers Armageddon?" And the clerks say, "Is this for the card or the comic?" And they're like, "Card. I just want the cards." Like, it was a surprising number of people. So yeah, that's cool too.
Yeah.
What a good, it's a good story, good art. Like, if you're gonna put something into somebody's hand that doesn't read comics, that's a great book to throw into their hand for sure.
I agree. I think Avengers Armageddon, from a content standpoint, was what Marvel needed it to be. I think that readers are still trepidatious. I'm very curious as to what that issue 2 number is going to look like when it's not bolstered by a Magic card.
Yeah.
That's going to be fascinating. Awesome. Well, Sean, we're gonna drop you right now. We're gonna bring, unless there's something else with the June numbers that we didn't talk about.
I actually have a couple storylines we didn't get
Please.
into if you want to
Yeah,
briefly.
let's go.
So, really quick, Absolute Green Arrow #2 coming in 4th place, outselling Core Batman. I think that's a big deal. Also Ben 10 #2 still kicking 16th place. Those millennials are still, or Gen Zers are still showing up. The biggest storyline though, for my eyes, was the fact that Ultimate Endgame and Ultimate Finale, the end of the Ultimate Universe for now, neither one of those could even break into the top 20 because Ultimate Finale was 25th and Ultimate Endgame 5 was 27th. So the enthusiasm for the end of that era is just not really there.
Yeah, no kidding. Boy, oh boy, I really, man, in much the same way, I hope Image figures out how to find the next gear. I so hope we can find Marvel just finding anything, just getting hold of something would be nice. It really would, especially in this time. Awesome. Well, thank you, Sean. We're gonna have you back in just like, I don't know, 5 minutes. So don't go far because we gotta get into the Pullbox Power Rankings. But for now, if you like this kind of data, you know what you should be doing. You should be subscribing to the Prana Bullets. That's right, a weekly newsletter where we get into all the big headlines that will affect your business or career in comics. We give you the top 400 of what is being sold in comic shops. We give you the same graphics and everything else that you see here. Man, we try to shove as much into there as we can every single week, every Friday. Go to pranadm.com, scan this QR code, sign up. We'll get you in the very next one. And Megan, really, she does put her heart and soul into this thing. So you should sign up because it is one of my favorite reads of the week. Awesome. You know, Brian?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this about comic shops, but they have to order a lot of stuff every single week.
Every week.
Of stuff.
It's like an ocean, and the wave just comes in and then comes in and then every week. Yeah.
And if you're trying to take a moment to even process that wave and think about it, there's no time. There's something like 2.5 seconds you have. Our goal is every single week to give you a little more about something that we think is a little more important. Something, a book that is in this list that maybe you can just take half a beat more with. And this week we have something that I think is really special, a new voice to comics. But you know what? Don't take my word for it.
Hi, my name is Natalie Huff, and I am presenting my first ever graphic novel I wrote and illustrated myself, My Dearest. What would you do if you found yourself in a situation that you had a relentless and ruthless stalker following your every move? Zelle finds herself in that same exact situation. With no one taking her cries of help seriously, she has to take matters into her own hands, find a way to escape her stalker's grasp, and uncover his identity before she loses her mind. You like Junji Ito-inspired art and psychological horror with a gory twist? My Dearest might be the summer read for you. Feel free to pre-order today or August 13th. Order.
I don't even know.
Sorry. That's sorry. I was expecting more. I'm sorry. I guess I should watch these beforehand. I thought there was going to be 3, but okay. All right.
This time it was
All
just
right.
the one. Just the one. And
I'm there.
Tight,
Yeah.
in and out. My Dearest,
Yeah,
trade
tight.
paperback. Natalie Huff actually put together a really fun little package. You should pick it up. And I like the fact that she said at the end, order. Just order. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Just order.
If you're a publisher, if you're a retailer. Also, John Burnett's that Feral Star is also up for FOC. Is that this? That's next week as well. So
yeah, number 1 and number 2, and we've got a Kickstarter.
Waypoint. We've been working on this one for a minute. Prana. We found these guys. They've been working on this book. Jeff has just been, put his heart and soul into Waypoint, and is launching very soon on Kickstarter. They really have built something special that really deserves your audience. If you are a retailer, make sure that you're following it. We're going to have something involved for you. If you're a fan, check it out. It's good. It's a good time. You're gonna we'll
That
have Jeff on at some point during this campaign. So yeah,
that art is cool looking.
it really is. Yeah, he really put some effort. This is like his first book too. He comes out of
my
animation and just, I mean, knocked it out of the park for a first issue or first release.
That's
It's a
super
4-issue
cool.
miniseries. Yeah,
Well, use that QR code and do what I just did and pull it up on your phone there, and you'll have
look
it
at
on your
that.
phone. You can join the crowdfunding campaign. Wow, this
Also,
art is amazing, dude.
yes.
This is incredible. Wow, that's very cool. Awesome.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to this. We've been working on this one for a while. So, all right.
Let's talk about our cover story. Hot takes only. Hot takes only.
Let's
So
rumble.
every month when the Pullbox Power Rankings come out, we hear a lot of disgruntled people. They're so angry because, their favorite thing isn't there. Their favorite person isn't there. Their favorite creator isn't there. And
That's fine.
we
So what we do, here's what we do every month in the pages of Comics the Magazine, or what we do ranking of what we call the Pullbox Power Rankings. This is data that comes out of our friends from Managed Comics and Comic Shop Assistant, and we're able to look at the what are they pre-order? What are fans pre-ordering? What are they special ordering? What do they have in their pull boxes? And we take those that data, we tally it together, we pull out who are the biggest writers in comics, who are the biggest cover artists, who's the biggest interior artists, who are the biggest titles and publishers. And every single month we put all of this effort into it. And some of you out there go, nuh-uh. Well, you know what? We're here to end that right now, because is the answer. So we are going to bring to our stage a few people. Let's don't look at that just yet. Let's bring some.
okay.
Some up. Come on. All right. Can I bring them in? I'm gonna bring them in. We are a well-oiled machine here. First off, let's start with the man without whom there would be no Comics the Magazine. He puts so much time and effort and experience into this book each and every month. Our editor-in-chief and somebody who always has a hot take, Mr. Joe Keating. I just pushed the button and he's not on the stage with me because there's some sort of, there he is.
Hey, hello. Can you hear me? All right.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm
You're
doing great. Excited to be back. Looking forward to talking about this subject.
Awesome. We loved what Sean is doing so much on this weekly show that we offered him an opportunity to start writing for the Pullbox Power Rankings. It's going to be starting this month, right?
Yeah, number 6. He's going to be doing commentary, so I'm looking forward to having that, Sean.
Thank you so much.
Because even though there's a little box at the bottom that describes what we're doing, what our process is, people are like, how are you figuring this out? And so, Sean, I appreciate you taking that, that hit for us.
I love it. I love it. Bring it on. I love to be a lightning rod. Let's do it.
Yeah. It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
I'm going to inject myself too because I know how this sausage is made. I literally see this sausage. I contribute to this sausage. So I am happy to talk about this sausage.
You literally are one who puts the meat into the grinder that goes into the sausage.
I sometimes do, yeah. Occasionally get a fingertip caught in there. And so you're getting a little,
All right. Let's dig in, because part of our goal here is we're going to be talking about this issue 5, that is on stands now. We're going to be talking about this, but in San Diego in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing essentially this same panel, but we're going to be talking about issue 6 data. So let's get into it, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's start with the top 10 titles. This is the top 10 titles for these were for, let's see, this was the June issue. This is from May of 2026. Oh, it says right there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Trevor went in and did that note, and I didn't notice that he did it. All right. Obviously, absolute Batman, right? But what are the surprises here? Is anything here a surprise to anybody? I suppose the biggest surprise is that we've got 2 titles from Marvel in an entire month, and none of them is Spider-Man,
Well,
I
one of them
suppose
Spider Man.
biggest
Oh,
one.
one of
Yeah,
them. There's three.
number
Okay,
two.
one
There's three.
Spider-Man. Oh well, whatever. See, it's right there at
You
number
can't
2.
see yellow. He's
Absolutely,
kind of
Amazing
yellow.
Spider Man.
My hot take is that I apparently am colorblind for yellow.
Started by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Six,
Yeah, I mean,
six of
I
10
will say,
titles are absolute. That's insane.
yeah.
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 Amazing's charting so high kind of surprises me. I know they're building up to 1,000, so I mean, I get it, but and I know they had a 25. I think I can't remember if that was in this month, but
I'll tell you, Joe, the thing that shocks me is that I've been open for 18 months and I know the numbers of the guy that used to do my store for 21 years. And that number for Amazing Spider-Man has never gone up or down more than 5. Like,
yeah.
so it's about, I would say probably half of all of our subscribers get Amazing Spider-Man. And that only ever goes up and down. Like, it doesn't matter what they do. Could be the worst storyline in the world. Same number of people buy it. It's just Spider-Man is Spider-Man.
Yeah, fair enough.
Also, when we dig a little deeper and look at the data, what we see is a battle of SKUs, right? Absolute Batman, we're seeing sales that are based on 9 different SKUs or stock keeping units, or in this case, covers, right? 9 different covers. But Amazing Spider-Man, 16. So 9 for Batman, 16 for Spider-Man.
You should see 1,000. I think it's 32 covers last time I looked, which is on FOC this week.
All right,
It's insane.
You ready for a hot take?
Let's go.
Marvel, I'm talking to you. Stop playing the SKU game. It doesn't work anymore.
It's
Just
the only
let's
thing
just
they
move
have.
on.
It's
I
the
don't
only
know.
thing they
Yeah,
have.
if they didn't have the
I know
Yeah.
for now, but just do like half as many books, but make them all amazing, so to speak. But yeah, I don't know. Just
Yeah,
this flooding with variants thing, dude. Nobody cares.
I think that the more I look at these numbers over the last few months of doing this with you guys, the more I realize how important variants are, at least to
Yeah.
Marvel's game plan. But we're even seeing now that stores are making variants a part of their game plan as well.
Yeah.
And so it scares me a little bit that we're pushing so hard in that direction. And Marvel needs Midnight to land. So that they can get away from the Midnight Initiative. They need that to land so they can get away from relying on SKUs and just putting out really, really strong titles.
Here's the thing. I'm not anti-variant. It's like kind of like last week or the week before, when I was talking about blind bags. Like, I'm all for them as long as it's interesting. If it's boring garbage that nobody wants, then it's boring garbage nobody wants. You know what I mean? Yeah. But if you do a bunch of cool variants with a bunch of cool people, then great. And do it in some sort of interesting way. But if you're just flooding the market with whoever is available right now, you're only hurting yourself in the long term.
What I find kind of funny though is that hasn't that always sort of been Marvel's agenda? They push
for like
more
20 years
stuff out. Yeah.
But you shall know them by their fruit. Like look at where it's at right now.
Totally.
We're also seeing in the bottom top 10 of the top 10, we see X-Men with 14 SKUs chasing Absolute Superman at number 7. All right, so Absolute Superman number 7, 4 SKUs. Yeah. X-Men at number 8, 14. Now, granted, Batman at number 9, 15. And Fantastic Four at number 10, 14. Right. So we're seeing, like, obviously Marvel, they are just dependent, man. They need them covers. They gotta have them covers. So
what do you attribute Fantastic Four's performance to? That's kind of the little book that could, right?
Yeah, I think so. Let's take a look. I mean, we've got number 10 and 11 in that month. So each one of them, I think, kind of contribute to getting the title on that list. We've got some of the biggest cover artists. David Nakayama has been one of those kind of quiet cover artists that we're seeing more and more on our top lists. And I think that's primarily because of Marvel's pushing them. But yeah, they had. I think primarily because they had 2 issues that month that we're able to see that. So
that point right there, Adam. Amazing Spider-Man double ships. I believe X-Men double ships. I could be wrong, but Fantastic Four did. So if you remove the double shipping out of the equation, is there any Marvel here?
Well, no, these are just pure pre-order numbers. So I don't think you're seeing double shipping really factor into this. I
Okay.
think this is just based on that's not true. That's not
Yeah.
true. There
No, I'm
is
looking at data
two.
you
Yeah,
built,
you're right.
Brian, and it
Yeah,
has both
no,
of them
yeah,
in there.
I'm looking at it too.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Sean may have something there. I'll just be quiet because it
Yeah.
turns out my sausage is real tasty when you get in there. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, you could be into. Yeah, you could definitely
it
be
does
onto something
actually.
there, Sean.
You know what? Now that I'm really, yeah, 100% looked it up. Amazing Spider-Man once
X-Men,
again double shipped. That's how they got
X-Men double
started too.
shipped, and Fantastic Four double
Yeah.
shipped. Yeah,
Oof, boy, oh boy. Yeah, I
that
know.
would. But
Marvel, where are you? Where are you?
The thing
yeah,
is, they
yeah.
know what to do. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to spoil any future plans we have, so I'll just limit to this. Like, Jamie Colville talks about like the only time Marvel didn't flood it was when DC was distributing. That's not true. I'm not going to get into the exact era that I'm referring to because we have plans regarding this. But like, there were times when Marvel was very limited in what they could do, and it was the result. The most interesting, like the most interesting books were the result of that. You know.
Yeah.
So just do that again. Be interesting
Be
again.
interesting.
You know,
Hire somebody to shake things up. Well, all right, that's too much. We're giving away too much.
Tommy
we're giving away
from
too much. Yeah.
Mad Prophet Comics says that one is word of mouth from retailers reading it. I think he means Fantastic Four because yeah, it's one of those books that it's every issue is one and done, and it's just good. It's just good comics. It's fun comics, and yeah, we need more of that. Are we going to the next
Yeah, let's go. Let's see what else we got here.
top 10
Top 10
publishers?
publishers. Obviously
Hot takes
DC,
here?
obviously Marvel, obviously Image. We talk about this every single week, right? I think that one of the most interesting pieces here are really those bottom three. Titan Comics, Mad Cave Studios, Oni Press. These are places that they're not really known for a thing, right?
Mhm.
None of them is. I mean, Boom Studios in many ways. I think they have some of those bigger kind of horror titles that will, they do continually do things off of. They also have a lot of licensed books. Obviously, IDW leans way into the licensing era. Nick Barucci at Dynamite, man, he lives and breathes licenses. But and honestly, these bottom three, they have licenses as well. Mad Cave, Oni, Titan, they'll do, but they're not, not dependent on them, I don't think, right? They're a bit more original. I think it's an interesting take that they can still get 1% to 2% of market share by doing that. That's my biggest take here, right?
Yeah. I
And
mean,
that's a good
Oni's
point. Oni is known for having a wild Torma. So having a Torma on your team is also a good idea. But yeah. Anyway.
Oni's the one to watch, man. I keep going back to them. Like during breaking news, they just announced Trad Moore's next book is that Oni.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm just like I mentioned Daniel Chabon earlier from Dark Horse. Like the other person I think of, like two people I think a lot about is Hunter Goranson and Sarah Hahn at Oni. Like they're here to win, and I see it by the books that they're bringing in, both the licenses and the original stuff. And
yeah,
be interesting too because Oni has just changed from Lunar to PRH. And to be honest, I thought they were with PRH all along. I keep forgetting. So that'll be interesting too to see how that change from one distributor to the other affects them. I know right now it's kind of rough because some stuff is still being distributed by Lunar and some stuff's being distributed by PRH. So hopefully people aren't missing things. But yeah, licensing, they've got the EC stuff, which does really, really well. Cruel Universe and Catacomb of Torment, Adventure Time. Murder Drones did surprisingly well. Destination Kill, Rick and Morty, some of those licensed books do really well too. But Mind Management's coming out soon. Fort Psycho. Yeah, it's good times.
Made the cover of Comics Magazine. Fort Psycho did. And I worked with Hunter. I worked with Hunter in his first job out of being an intern, right? So Hunter and I worked together for almost 10 years. And I will tell you that, he is very smart, incredibly hardworking, does not let the fact that wanting anyone to like him get in the way of anything. he's he's definitely driven, and I can definitely see that that being why Oni has made such a comeback.
Yeah.
And you're right. I think they're just going to continue to climb. I have no doubt.
Hot
Awesome.
take.
The
Yeah, let's
past
go,
the
John.
top 10, a couple of the interesting numbers are Bad Idea, who's number 11, and Ignition Press, who I think both these you'll see rise in the next little while. Bad Idea is doing this with 6 titles. Ignition was 16,
Yeah.
which puts them up in the top 10. But everybody below that has significantly fewer titles, with the exception of like Seven Seas Entertainment and Kodansha and places like that. But yeah, these guys are probably going to be the story in a little while.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt.
Should we
Sean?
talk artists?
Wait. Sean, I think Sean's got something.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I just wanted to say, hot take. I'm frustrated with Boom. Boom was my favorite publisher in comics a few years ago because I thought they were putting out really smart, really original things, and it wasn't just Tynan, right? And now it feels like if it's not Tynan, I don't even know what I want to read from Boom, and I don't understand where they went because it felt like they had the industry by the shoulders and they let go. They softened their grip.
Yeah, I will say, we've seen some disruption. They lost their publisher. Things are probably a little bit up in the air there. I can definitely see them beginning to settle in. Andy Schmidt, I mean, he knows he's their EIC. He knows comics. He knows indie publishing. So I could see him kind of bringing some new people in. But yeah, I think Tommy pointing out that maybe Philip Sablik was who you were a fan of. That's entirely possible. And now at Ignition, it's that could be it, right? So
I'm starting to see a lot of those books that would have been Boom books showing up at Ignition. Like you're really
Yep.
starting to see that stuff.
Yeah.
I think Murder Podcast would have been a great Boom book. Everyone would have loved it at Boom. Even what's the new Rob Gilroy book?
Innards. Yeah, that's what I was
Innards,
thinking
yeah.
of. Yeah,
That would have been a
'cause,
Boom book for sure.
I mean, their last book, Mosley, was at Boom.
Yeah.
Stam and Rob's last book. So, it makes a lot of sense that now it's at Ignition. But again, like big publishers, don't rest in your laurels. There are hungry, like competitive editors and publishers of these smaller companies that you aren't. I think you're taking for granted, and they're coming.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
coming
When
for your butts.
you've got a 1-2 like Philip Sablik and Jamie S. Rich, and Jeremy Hahn as your creative director, they're gonna gobble everyone up in the next little while.
Also, they're putting a ton of writers, a ton of creators into exclusives. That's
are they really?
At Ignition. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So a lot of those people that they're leaning into and helping them create, podcasts and that sort of thing, they all have for at least for independent, for creator-owned comics, they have an exclusive with Ignition. So, and they're being treated really well too. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm really hopeful for Boom. Like I said, Andy is there, Josh is there. They're it's a strong team. I hope they can figure it out editorially, because I agree that's really where that team needs to find some new gas. So
yeah, for sure. Let's talk cover artists. Want to talk cover artists?
Let's go.
Okay, this is where we get hate mail. Hate mail. So our top 10. Nick Dragata, number 1. What a surprise!
Shocking. He has been. You've been looking at these numbers. How many of the last, say, of the year that we've been doing this, how many times has Nick Dragota been the number 1 cover artist? Do you know, Sean?
I've only been able to see the data for the 1 month.
Okay.
But yeah, it couldn't be anyone else.
I want to say
it couldn't be anyone else.
Yeah, I want to say it's been 6 months that he's been either number 1 or number 2, just barely. Yeah, he is just, and you want to talk about like a journeyman who figured all this stuff out. Nick and Mark Spears feel like they're cut of the same cloth. They've just been at it for so long that when they got their turn at bat, they knew what the stakes were and they were like, got it. They understood the brief. It's time to show up. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, for
The
sure.
last time that Nick Dragata was not in the number one position was January 2026, when our number 5, Dan Mora, was in the number one position. And Dan Mora does like 116 books every month.
Yeah. Just for those of you in audio, number 2, Javier Rodriguez. Number 3, David Nakayama. Number 4, Jorge Jimenez. Number 5, Dan Mora. Number 6, Jim Lee. Is that how you pronounce that? Number 7, Hayden Sherman. Number 8, Rafa Sandoval. Number 9, Scott Williams. And number 10, Neto Diaz.
I want to pause on Scott Williams real quick. So we've gotten some letters about like, why are you including the inker? Because he's Jim Lee's inker. Like we've gotten some letters about like, why are you including inkers and colorists? Because they're contributing, dude. Like, I'm sorry you don't understand his art form well enough, but like Jordi Belair hit the colorist, I think an interior artist a few months back, and I was like, Jordi, she won. Like, I don't know what to tell you, you know. And
these are the books that are selling.
These are the books that are selling, and we consider inkers and colorists an essential part of the creative team, you know. So
especially Scott Williams, like you can't think of Jim Lee without Scott Williams. Like they're practically the same person.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's an excellent point.
Honestly, guys, I look at this, I don't see anything controversial. This list looks like a representation of our industry. I think the only thing that surprises me is that David Nakayama is not higher than Javi, but this is for May. This is before Absolute Catwoman. So David Nakayama hadn't had that sweet cover yet. But everyone on this list is doing the biggest books. This is how it works.
Yeah.
And
I think
this list
12 items on this list this month. 12.
This list isn't our favorite or even like a polling of retailers. This is based off of subscription pre-order data. Yeah. So like here's my pitch about the Pullbox Power Rankings. If you don't like the number, like the rankings on here, then encourage people to buy the books that you love and like get it going. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like bolster it. This is pure numbers. Number 1 on my list is always Rob Liefeld. Like I love his stuff, right? Not on here, you know, but I love his work. But it's not, my opinion is not influential here. It's purely numbers. It's purely pre-orders, subscription data. So,
also,
can I ask you guys? Yeah. What did the little icons mean? Because I know that the down is they've moved down month over month.
So
What's
circle is just mean? It's the same as last month.
Okay.
Star is new to this list.
Okay, cool.
And of course, up means up and down means down. So
yeah,
and it should be noted that Jim Lee is new to this list just because he didn't have anything last month. Right?
That's right.
So it's always
this month. He had 15 covers. 15 covers. Oh, it's too good. Too good.
Yeah.
And that was Batman 163 that had like all of the covers.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at. I don't even know what this one is. Interior artists.
Yeah.
A little bit different story.
Yeah, this is a very different story. Well, in some cases, it's the same. Nick Dragota is still, the biggest man on campus. He's not going away anytime soon. Number 2, Javier Rodriguez, again mirroring that absolute Martian Manhunter. Number 3, Rafael Albuquerque. Number 4, Ryan Sook. Number 5, Hayden Sherman, again from the cover artist. Number 6, Rafa Sandoval. Number 7, Neto Diaz. Number 6, Jim Lee. Or they're 7, Neto Diaz. Number 8, Jim Lee. Number 9, Scott Williams. And number 10, Dan Mora.
I think the only time Nick's not been the number 1 is when Jock did that issue of Absolute Batman. So basically, if Nick doesn't draw, he's not number 1. But if Nick draws, he's number 1.
There were the 2 Poison Ivy issues too, where Eric
Kennedy drew him.
March. I think it was March and February.
How many days does poor Nick go? Man, I just can't. I gotta keep going. He's missing ball games. He's missing graduations. But he's like, I have one shot at being on top, babe. I gotta go sit down and draw. I can't not go to this convention. I gotta go.
Dude, how many books is Dan Mora doing? Like, he is doing Superman and Transformers and Justice League Unlimited or Batman Superman World's Finest every month. Like 3 interiors, and he does 17 covers.
How does that work, Joe? You've been at this for long enough. That can't be. I mean, he's got to have some of that just in the pipeline, right?
To be in the pipeline, I cannot imagine. I mean, that's like even Jack Kirby had how many inkers, and some of those books were inked by other people. I mean, I think that outpaces Tezuka in terms of output. I cannot think that's remotely like he's doing it all at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's no quality loss. Like every Dan Mora book looks incredible.
Well, I will say, so I've worked with Skybound a bit, and they do a lot ahead of time. So like I have to assume that those Transformers books have been the can for a long time. If I had to guess, I don't know for sure, but if I had to
there's
guess,
a pretty big like Hasbro licensing thing with the Transformer stuff. I'm pretty sure with all that.
What do you mean?
Skybound stuff? Like the Hasbro, I think has final sign off on pretty much everything, don't they?
I don't know. All I know for sure is in my past history that they really bank books. So
yeah,
I assume those were done a long time ago.
Yeah, and it should be noted that, like, you know, in the month that we're talking about right now, May, he also had a Transformers trade paperback. That was part of why he's doing it. So that's past work that's being reprinted and still coming up. But again, it's still value for the shops. It's still value for the fans. It is the kind of thing that you can pull off. But man, you really have to do the work.
I'll tell you guys, and I'm not going to reveal it here. I will reveal it at our panel at San Diego Comic-Con. But there is one name of an artist that keeps coming up in letters columns. I look at every letter we get in, and there's one name who, like, if we just ranked it by fan demand, is never made a list as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong. I'll maybe double check that. If this person has, it's only been like once. But they're like, where was this person? Where's this person? Where's this person? So come on to the San Diego Comic-Con panel and learn who that is. Who's the reader's choice of Comics the Magazine?
That's awesome. That's awesome. Top 10 writers.
Oh, we're number one. Shocker, Dennis Camp. This, by the way, the second time Dennis Camp has been number one on these lists. Number two, Scott Snyder is usually number one, along with his buddy Nick Dragotta. 3, Robert Kirkman. 4, Joe Kelly. 5, James Tinian IV. 6, Jed McKay. 7, Ryan North. 8, Josh Williamson. 9, Jason Aaron. And number 10, Pornsak Pinchot. Ponchot? I always forget how to say Pornsak's last name. Anyway, yeah.
Shade, I think it is.
I think so.
You know, the pre-show banner we were talking, or I think it was pre-show banner, we were talking about like undervalued creator or underrated creators. And, you know, the Gabe mentioned Scott Snyder, you know, and I'm thinking a lot, he's got a point. I was also thinking Josh Williamson with Scott in terms of like the impact that 100%. Both of those guys have had on, because they do, I don't think it's speaking out of school, but they do a lot behind the scenes that does not get discussed at all in terms of steering DC creative. And so I think those guys, I mean, you know, maybe they don't want recognition by design for that, but still, like.
But also, like, Josh did Superman, G.I. Joe, Iron Man, Energon Universe Special, Energon Universe Free Comic Book Day Special. That's in a month. Now, granted, he probably even wrote in that month. I mean, don't get me wrong, those were all produced, but still, that's an output that somebody can do.
Again, I'm going to assume all those Energon books have been done for a really long time, but still, productive guy.
Now, all right, I have a hot take here, and let's. So I want to dig in. Now, granted, some of these are Dynamic Forces versions that did really well in that month, but when we look at who each of these are writers are, we get to see how many titles they have and then how many items per title. For Robert Kirkman, he has 14 titles for the month of May. Now, Scott Snyder, just above him, has 4. So here's my question. Is Robert Kirkman the Marvel of SKUs in this list? Is he maybe taking credit? I mean, is there a studio of this Robert Kirkman writing?
I'll break that down. Are we talking like variants and stuff like that? What are we talking about?
We got Transformers.
All right, I'm going to read off the list of titles.
Okay.
Here we go. Transformers, Invincible Universe Battle Beast, Void Rivals, Walking Dead. That's a reprint, but still it's on here. Yeah. Invincible Universe Capes, Energon Universe Special,
Yeah.
Transformers
was a
trade paperback.
reprint of the Free Comic Book Day special.
Granted. All right, so that's we have Walking Dead, we've got Transformers, we've
Yeah.
got Invincible,
These are yeah, and
We
then a
got,
bunch of trade paperbacks.
Energon
Yeah.
Universe. Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
granted,
so here's
this is the secret is backlist, I guess, is the answer.
well, the secret is backlist, and here's God, I like a lot of people at Marvel, and I'm ruining this magazine. I want you involved. The difference is people want his SKUs.
Fair.
You're not wrong.
I mean, like to your own point, a lot of that is backlist. It's reorders. It's stuff that's existed for 10 years that there's still 15 years that is still selling.
Yeah.
Well, and he's
all right.
doing stuff like Capes, where he's like rewriting a series that's 10 years old to make
now
it
it's
more
back
modern and awesome.
Now, him and Corey Walker. So Benito Cereno's writing the main story, and then Robert is doing like a backup. So, it's 6 pages that have probably been done for like 2 years, but still.
Yeah. And I would say to that end, the big secrets, you want to pop that back up, is Joe Kelly and Pornsack are the two that are on this list because of one title each. Now, Joe's title is Amazing Spider-Man, and Pornsack, though, coming out with Absolute Green Arrow, which I really did enjoy.
Yeah, it was good.
It really was good. But yeah, I will say that there's still a lot. We have somebody, Lynn Cody, saying Dennis Camp. No, I'm sorry. Who was it that said the surprise that Kelly Thompson was not on there? Kelly Thompson,
that was
number 12 for the month of May.
With
really
only 2
tight.
books right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolute Wonder Woman, and It's Jeff. So
yeah,
there you go. Awesome. I think this one is my fun. This might be my most favorite category because this is one of those where there's almost more strategy to this game than there are some of the others. I mean, don't get me wrong, the artists they get the chance, they really have to pick one, but man, these writers, they get to make a lot of choices. They get to make a lot of strategy choices to get to this.
Yeah.
When you see like Dennis Camp and he's got 5 different titles, including Absolute Martian Manhunter, which was number 2 that month, Ultimate Endgame, Ultimates, Bleeding Hearts, and Assorted Crisis Events. So that's, you're seeing those kind of all buoy him up above Scott Snyder, who's only got a couple books.
Well, and Scott's also, I mean, God bless his heart. He's running one of the biggest publishing things in our lifetime. So
absolutely,
we'll let him off with 4 titles,
just the 4,
which are Absolute Batman and then the Absolute Batman hardcover, Undiscovered Country, Victory trade paperback. That's a re-release, and Undiscovered Country, the title. So really, it's just 2 titles that he's.
Undiscovered Country is co-written with Charles Soule, isn't it?
There is.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. So Charles could almost, another couple titles. Anyway, fascinating list, fascinating month. This is going to be good. I can't wait to do this panel again in San Diego, Joe. This is going to be a good time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. And
can you guys
think.
Can you guys talk to us a little bit about what is going to be in Comics the Magazine in terms of Sean's articles?
I mean, we gave Sean the keys.
They're both so quiet.
Yeah.
No.
I just I figured man could speak for himself, but it's commentary, like for me. So I'm a big combat sports guy and I love power rankings, and I was like, comics needs this because comics needs competition, right? Like I've got a longer version of the story. I'll tell maybe another time, but like I think people were competing with the wrong tools, and now I want people to compete with numbers. And so anyway, I thought we could, and I think Adam was the one actually proposed this, and I agree it was a really good idea. Like have some sports commentary to go along with the power rankings. Again, like. You can disagree with us all you want, but here's what happened. And so, Sean, we asked you to do it.
And also, we've had Sean. Let's sing your praises for just a minute more, and then you can actually answer the question. So, I mean, I'm a big fan of the Comics Pals. Sean's part of that crew. They do an amazing job of, talking about what's happening in the week of comics. They really live and breathe comics, and I have built this community of people who do the same. And they, talk about the series, and they talk about really critically about some of the decisions that creators are making and some of the decisions publishers are making. And so that's why we invited him on to do the weekly show with us. And honestly, at some point you can't watch him talk about the weekly comics and not go, let's make another opportunity for this guy.
Yeah.
Like let's roll out the carpet and let him know. So we gave him all the tools. We said, here's the back end that we're pulling the data from. Here's our analysis of that data. So that he can begin to understand like who is, building a narrative around it. And all right, now, Sean, you can tell.
So, of all the opportunities in my life that I've ever received, none of them have felt more like right for me than this. Because I watch Sports Center about sports I don't even care about. Because I like to hear the analysis. I like to hear the thought processes and stuff like that. And so being able to bring that to comics, where I'm a layperson just as much as most people who are hearing this, except for the fact that because of my show and because comics are like my special interest, I can't stop being obsessed with what happens in this industry. And so having a platform outside of my show in Comics the Magazine, a magazine that I've wanted to be in since it was announced, really is a dream come true. I couldn't imagine a better situation. So I'm really grateful.
Amen. And so if you want to be hearing more from Sean, not only should you subscribe to this show, which if you're not, I mean, really, what's wrong with you? It's popped up on your feed so many times. Then you should also be subscribed to Comics the Magazine at your local comic shop and pick it up. Newest issue we're putting to bed this week. Number 6 is this one's a good one, man. This is a heater right across the plate.
I'm gonna pull an Adam here too.
Yeah.
So a lot of you were mad about us not saying anything about the Spawn cover.
No, what are you doing?
Just make sure you order this one. Order a bundle.
Oh, Joe, you would be saying Adam to Adam right now in the chat if you.
It's hypocritical. It's hypocritical. But I'm telling you, speaking of angry letters I've been getting for about a week now, I'm just saying,
too funny.
I think people are sleeping. And don't sleep on this one. In fact, Adam, I will privately message you what I'm talking about momentarily.
Oh, yeah.
I will tell you guys that the 3 secret covers paid double what I paid for all my bundles. So everybody's getting free Comics the magazines again this month from me because you guys paid for them.
And they're designed to sell comics for you. If you're a comic shop and you're not giving these things away, you're not selling them, you're not making sure that everybody in your subscriptions is at least looking at them. What are you even doing? We're doing our best, man. We're trying to give you tools to sell more comics. So
absolutely. Yeah. When I look on the message boards and I see retailers complaining that, we've gone down to singles because it was hard to sell bundles. I'm like, you are in a comic store and it's hard to sell a magazine about comics. You might be in the wrong business. Before, I want to show you guys something, and I haven't asked permission to do this, so you're just going to see it for the first time, and we will talk about how much I'm in trouble later. One of the key things of comic previews is that it's supposed to be about discovery, and I loved having the Pullbox Power Rankings up, but unfortunately, we were only changing them once a month, so we changed it so that they change once a week now. We've also changed it so that we make sure that no 2 covers are the same. And now weekly, based on FOCs, you will see what the Pullbox Power Rankings are, which are not as meaningful as that kind of big overall list. But this gets us more names getting churned through. So if you're interested in what those numbers are weekly, go to Comic Previews and click on Creators, and you'll see how people are going week over week. And then this is going to get more people seen. And we're going to do a lot more interesting stuff with this data over time. And start to show more and more of how this is important. So there you go. There you go. That's my little plug.
What do you think, Joe? Is he in trouble?
Yeah, he's a little bit of trouble.
I'm probably in trouble.
That's trademark, buddy. We're going to talk about this one.
Well, I do have the trademark there. All right.
All right.
Well,
let's wrap this thing up. I'm going to keep these guys. You know what? I want to both of you hang out. We'll talk a little after the show. So let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
But if you are, once again, I think we've already done this, but if you are a big fan of this kind of data, you really do need to be subscribing to the Prana Bullet, pranadm.com. Scan the QR code. We have other CTAs. What else do we have?
I got one. Every week now at Managed Comics, we are doing office hours every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I will not be there, but Max and Craig will be there. If you go to managecomics.com/discord, it will take you to our Discord server, and that's where all the cool kids hang out now. I don't really understand Discord, but whatever. And we've already said, put Comics the Magazine on your polls. Make sure you do
Order
this
a bundle.
today.
I'm just telling you
because
guys
you're
right
gonna-
now. Just
It's a bundle.
order
It's
a bundle.
$25, and we would have paid you paid for it nearly every time you get a bundle. Oh, whatever. It's all right. You guys do what you got to do. That's right. Next week.
San Diego Comic-Con,
boy.
the prep show.
Joe
So
and
I've-
between us,
I've
we
still
have
never been.
7 panels. We have a meetup. I've got, I think I counted the other day, and I think it's 18 different meetings outside of those panels. I don't know, and not to mention the standard parties, whatever. We are next week on this show. We're gonna give you the benefit of our experience. We're gonna tell you which parties we absolutely would go to, which ones are a complete waste of time. We're going to tell you where to hide out when you need to have a meeting or you really just got to get off the floor. We're going to tell you where the real good bathrooms are. So like, we're going to give you this is the insider prep. It is coming way too soon, Adriano, way too soon. I'm not ready for it. We have too much to build, but, it's going to be a good show next week. You guys should definitely tune in. Also, we're going to do this thing, this show we just did. We're going to do it live with maybe a special guest or two, depending on we've gotten some yeses that are going to blow your socks off. We'll see if they show up though. So yeah, it's going to be a good time. Yeah.
All right, people, we're going to drop out while Adam says his goodbyes.
All right, Django. I'm sorry. I will only blab only the good bathrooms. You know, suppose you just watched this entire thing. You sat down through 90 minutes of us talking about comics. You obviously love them, right? You show up every week, you pick up your comics, or you show up every week and you put them out. You unpack boxes and you organize them. You treat each one of these tiny little things like a baby bird that you don't want the spine to break. You are bagging and boarding things. You're doing people's pulls. You are going above and beyond, pulling things that you know they're going to like, even though they've never even heard of them. You are hand selling. You are vacuuming the same floor every single day. To those of you who work in comic shops who do all those things every week, thank you. And for those of you who show up at those comic shops and you pick up your pulls and you never actually question, you just say, yeah, I asked for all these, just ring them up. Thank you. For those of you who resent a little bit that we're gamifying your work, your creative work, but you still show up and you are still excited about it and you're still excited about the game itself, but also you just really just trying to tell good stories. Thank you. For each and every one of you who's involved this week in comics, we here at Comic Industry Insiders Live, we say thank you. You know why? Because this week you saved comics. Namaste, y'all.
Comic Industry Insiders Live is dedicated to retailers, publishers, and fans of the comics industry. This show is a joint production between Prana Direct Market Solutions and Manage Comics. Trevor Richardson is our producer. Have an idea for the show or want to advertise your brand or business on the show? Send us an email at info@pranadm.com. For more information about the show, visit pranadm.com. And thank you for saving comics.